I've seen Kevin scribbling like crazy over here on some stuff that I have mentioned that it looks like he might ask some more follow-up to. But other than that, please ask questions. Like I said, they're coming in now, and we will just spend the next half an hour a little bit more answering your questions because that's what's most important to us.
Yeah. Well, let's answer this question from our friend Shanae. She's always the first to ask a question in these webinars, and we thank you for it, Shanae. You're fantastic. I understand that ACE filing is delayed, but I just want a confirmation that once all entries are filed through ACE, it is certain that importers will never receive 7501 or 3461 paper forms. Trying to schedule time to go through the ACE to obtain customs documents can be rather time consuming.
Agreed. So ACE by definition is paperless, which means there are no forms. So from a 7501 perspective, when we first started ACE summary, which is the 7501, probably for a month I didn't send out 7501s to my clients. And I got more phone calls, more emails saying, why aren't you guys doing this anymore? And I decided it wasn't a battle worth fighting any longer. So we just started to provide them. But know if your broker is filing an ACE summary and you are still holding on to a paper 7501, that paper 7501 is not necessarily what's on file with U.S. Customs. Previously, the answer to that question would have been yes, that is the record, that piece of paper. The answer to that question now is it's in ACE. It's in the portal. So that is something that's very important. From a 3461 perspective, there's been a lot of talk. Customs actually, some of you might have seen the release that they made a new 3461 form all of a sudden. It kind of came out of the blue. Part of that is because with all of this paperless processing, those of you who ship maybe LCL, that goes through a St. George or warehouses like that, that maybe aren't fully connected in with AMS yet, they can't see a paperless release. So I have to provide them something. So that's what Customs has kind of come out with. So from my perspective as a service provider, I'm probably still going to provide those just because we've kind of drilled that into heads for such a long time that, hey, you need those. At some point, I will stop. I don't know when that day is going to be yet, but at some point there's no reason to send them because they don't technically even exist anymore.
What about the regulatory requirements still?
So
is Customs going to update the
yes.
regulations to actually take that out? And have you heard from the ACE folks when they might do that?
So there's a list, the A1A list, that talks about kind of what information you need to have as far as a customs entry and what information you need to keep. With that, Customs has not come out and made a final determination on whether or not you have to keep it. The argument is, Customs, you have told us this is all paperless. There is no paper required. We don't even send 7501s to U.S. Customs if they ask for information. We might only send a copy of your commercial invoice. We've been instructed from the highest echelons of CBP not to provide the 7501 if the summary was an ACE, because they're relying on us to actually help train their folks as well. So there have been, I think I've seen 2 or 3 letters submitted by the NCBFAA, the National Customs Brokers and Freight Forwarders Association. I've seen letters associated by AAEI about Customs. You have to make a ruling on this so everybody's on the same page. They haven't yet. I think we might see one coming up over the summer as more and more and more makes it mandatory to be in ACE. But right now they don't have to do it. Right now it's still voluntary. It's still pilot. It's not required. So I think we'll see one this summer.